Hello, everyone. We're doing a quick little segment here just before we go live with the actual podcast here. First and foremost, let me mute my background here because I can hear myself somewhere. Where am I? Oh, it's on my phone. I have it loaded up on there too. Okay. So how's everyone doing? Before we get started, as I said, I want to wish Ray3473 out there a speedy recovery. He's definitely a huge part of this community right now. He is he's in the hospital, as he put up on Twitter. He's okay. Things are looking good. It's not as serious as it could have been, which is awesome news. So happy speedy recovery to you, my friend, and we'll be waiting for you to come back. And I know you posted in the chat before we went live, and appreciate you always showing your awesome support. But there's also some awesome stuff out there in the world. Today is July 10th, and today happens to be the birthday of my mom. So if hopefully she clicked the link to watch me do this little thing. I know she doesn't watch this because she doesn't care about video games. But I want to wish my mother a happy birthday. And since I can't be with her today, since she's in another state elsewhere, happy birthday, Mom. So if my awesome castmates wouldn't mind joining me, we want to sing a happy birthday, Mom. Before we go live, 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Mom. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Brad.
Happy birthday, Mom.
I know that the syncing of the microphones isn't all that great, but happy birthday, Mom. I'll see you. I'm not going to say we will because they won't see you, but I will see you soon. So I love you. And we're going to go ahead and get started with the podcast here in just about 2 seconds. All right. Thank you. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to episode 7 of the Stadia Initiative podcast. Today is July 10th, 2020. Today's episode is entitled The Final Countdown, as we are entering the final days before we hit the Stadia Connect on Tuesday, which it's going to be a good one. But folks, let's introduce the awesome podcast here as we all swirl our awesome drinks. I'm pretty sure most of us are drinking some Power 12, but Chase, live from a different room. How are you doing today, sir?
Oh, I'm good. I'm good. Today was a stressful day. Car battery issue. Before I went to go get the oil changed in the car, had to change the battery in 90-degree heat, then went to go get an oil change, then went to go take the cat to the vet. And because the cat had such a traumatic experience today at the vet, he is in the room that I normally podcast in. So that is why I have a unique setup tonight. So
there you go. Well wishes to the kitty cat. MM2K in the house. The mastermind behind wow, let me start that over again. The mastermind behind Stadia Dosage. How are you, friendo?
Doing great. I want to be drunk like everyone else, so I'm eating Chinese food, prepping my innards. So I'll be with you guys soon in the drinkage department. But no, man, happy to be here, ready to talk about these Stadia games.
There you go. Beautiful. Meg, also known as Megatron X, how are you?
I'm doing great, thank you. Yeah, I got my Monster and lemonade here on the go, and yeah, I'm looking forward to the podcast tonight.
Awesome stuff. And Eddie, on location, how are you doing out there?
Hey, Brian, I'm sorry for the car noises. As you can see, that's the only less heat place of the house, because inside the house is impossible. But it was a good day.
Absolutely. Is that a Ryan Tannehill jersey I am spotting on you?
Yes, it is.
Awesome stuff. And Germani, round us off, friend. How are you?
Oh, pretty good, man. Pretty good. Been busy outside of the whole gaming thing. I know people probably noticed. Hadn't been streaming as much, but been pretty good. I got my peach, strawberry, and blueberry mix here. No alcohol, just juice.
No alcohol, just juice.
No alcohol.
Fair enough. So it's been an interesting last 2 weeks, and I think we have a much more interesting week ahead of us. So we get to speculate a little bit. We get to discuss what the week will be coming up. We have a lot of stuff coming up as a group, I know for sure. So Eddie, I'm going to let you take over here for a second because you got some reaction shows coming up here in just a couple days, don't we?
Yes, hello guys. Welcome to the Eddie React channel. I mean, it's still Eddie Player One YouTube channel, but we're gonna do a lot of React. So starting this Sunday, me, Chase, and Kai, we're gonna be doing a reaction to the Ubisoft event. Then on Tuesday, we have a crossover of TSI and This Week on Stadia Unfiltered, when it's gonna be the 6 of us plus Kai watching the Connect. We're gonna throw our final predictions there. And actually, for the whole rest of the month, MM2K, Meg have already been on This Week on Stadia Unfiltered, but we're gonna have Brian Tuesday night as well. And on the next Tuesday, we're gonna have LXIV. Mr. Germani is gonna be there as well. So it's gonna be an awesome month of July.
Right on. And then let's see. I think that does it for that. And yeah, let's just jump right into it. So it's going to be exciting stuff on Tuesday. Of course, we could go a little bit more into the predictions for the Connect, but I think we're going to say that just before the actual Connect goes live on Tuesday. Is that right, Eddie? We'll do our final speculation Tuesday morning.
Right. Okay. Exactly. But we're going to speculate that out of this show as well.
Perfect. All right. So let's just talk, just the random stuff to open up the show. Sometimes I like to ask a different question besides what have we been playing, because, everyone talks about that every time. So let's do something different. This time, I'm going to ask the panel to tell us their favorite game soundtrack, whether that is from a specific game or maybe specific series of games. Does anyone have one immediately they want to jump off with, or should I just go ahead and pick someone? All right, Chase, start us off.
I'm going to throw it in the chat so people can go check it out.
Hey, do it.
Actually, maybe I won't. So because I don't know what link I was about to post there, because I copied it from our private message and it doesn't look the same.
Private.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah. Right. No, Madden.
Yeah,
oh, stop it, MM. So Madden 2004, hands down for me, has got one of the best soundtracks of all time. Now, Granted, it's not an original soundtrack. So if someone wants to come at it from that perspective,
I guess, because I could say like Rock Band's my favorite soundtrack, and there's literally like 2,000 songs in that game. But I'll accept it because it is curated, and it's not like it's like an endless list. So yes, Madden 04 has an amazing playlist.
But it also has a soundtrack. It was rated as a soundtrack for the game.
Fair enough.
If you've ever heard the song "Feelin' This" by Blink-182,
never heard of it.
Such a great song. And that was in that soundtrack, and it was kind of its debut, if you will. So again, I love that. I love the music from that game. It's great. There's just a really good list of songs.
Fun fact about that specific song you just mentioned, I believe, because you said it was the debut of it, I think it was actually named something else in the game.
Action. That's
it. There it is. There you go. A little fun fact for you. Great soundtrack, even better football game. It actually might be my favorite football game of all time.
04, really? Wow.
Yeah. With Vic on the cover, yeah, that is, the soundtrack's awesome. All right, we're getting off topic. MM2K, what is your favorite game soundtrack?
Well, let me roll out my scroll here, my good friends. Actually, if I could, I got 3. Yeah, we should make that like a hot button or something. Yeah. I have 3. Okay, but I'm gonna make this quick. The first one is Division 2. I mean, I just the sound mechanics or whatever you want to call it, it's awesome for that game. The other 2 though, that's number 3. I'm working backwards. There's a tie for 1. The tie for 1 is Final Fantasy VI and Phantasy Star 2. Those are two old school RPGs. One is from the Super Nintendo era, but Brian knows the other one. Phantasy Star 2 is from the Sega Genesis era. And those soundtracks are just airy, crazy. I love them, and they go with the theme of the game. So those are my three. I know, even though you only asked for one.
Not. Well, I mean, if you look at the little banner there, it says soundtracks. So I guess that's fine. That's fine. I guess that implies us.
MM is using the words to his advantage. Okay,
exactly.
That's fair. That's
Thank
fair.
you.
Semantics. It's details. Germani, what's your favorite video game soundtrack?
Oh, now it's track, huh?
Tracks. Sorry.
It's track for you.
I went through the problem once. Let's just narrow it down. Your favorite soundtrack?
I would say one of the games. I'll say I'm going to do three. Well, one of them is Ocarina of Time. I love that soundtrack. It's amazing. And then Perfect Dark had one of the best soundtracks during this time. Well, dang. I just remembered one. All right, look. Ocarina of Time soundtrack, Perfect Dark soundtrack, Extreme G1 and 2 soundtracks, and then Dandara soundtrack, which I'm going to share here, is amazing. You know, those are just very different soundtracks, but yeah, I love them. Love them.
Ocarina's like next level, dude.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
Meg wouldn't know because she's never played Ocarina of Time, but
she wouldn't know.
No.
I don't know, guys. I don't know.
By the way, also Celeste has an extremely good soundtrack as well.
Celeste, of course.
Yes.
And we'll talk about Celeste. And oh, God. I'm so
Yeah.
excited.
So throw that in there.
Eddie, your turn. Don't say pass.
No. Pass. Joking. Metal Gear Solid. The Last of Us Part 1. And of course, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh yes,
dude. What can't be said about THPS 2? It's a phenomenal track.
No, it is still on my playlist on Spotify. Every time I go there, it has the playlist option. That soundtrack.
It should. Love it. Meg.
So I have two. So one is my favorite like sing along soundtrack, and one is my favorite like just listen to and like maybe hum along. Okay. So my favorite sing along is Need for Speed Underground 2, and I'm actually surprised none of you guys said it because it's amazing and I listen to it all the time. And then my other favorite one is just anything from the Elder Scrolls, like starting from Morrowind and going up to Skyrim and even the Elder Scrolls Online. I just think it's so beautiful and atmospheric and perfect, and that's my favorite. I always hum along, and I'll hum those even when I'm not playing. I'll have the main soundtrack in my head. So yeah, those are my two favorite.
Perfect. And then I'm gonna kind of steal half of Germani, so I'm gonna go with Ocarina, which is seriously awesome stuff. And I'm not gonna cheat like Eddie and Chase here, picking curated stuff and stuff like that. I'm just kidding.
What?
I'm kidding. I'm gonna go with the Sonic series. Back in the day, you really, and I mean, MM knows this, is that you really had to be very creative with the liberties that you were able to take with the technology that was available at the time for these specific systems. So when they're good, that means they're like a next level of kind of good. And when you look at something like Sonic 3, they had Michael Jackson actually work on that. So, I mean, that shows like the amount of dedication to the soundtrack of those games particularly. And it's just, they're very ingrained in our culture when it comes to video games, and everyone knows, the Green Hill Zone songs and all these things. It's just, I love it. It's perfect. It's very soothing. It's awesome stuff. But very different answers from everyone, which is really cool. I didn't expect that, I guess. I don't know why I didn't, but it's really cool stuff. But moving on, we will, I guess, talk about the games we've been playing real quick, and then we will jump into our first topic. We'll be talking about the Ubisoft event that will be on Sunday this evening. So, Eddie, what have you been playing?
Creta. I'm going to talk about that. I played a few minutes of the Shapes and Bits today. I saw you did a stream.
Yep.
I've played a little bit of The Division 2. I watched MM play something, but I'm not going to tell because I will see he will talk about it. And that's about it, I guess. Yeah. But I think the most time I spent during this week was on Creta.
Okay. How about you, Germani?
I've been playing Crata as well. Having a lot of fun with that. And The Last of Us 2. And honestly, when I do get most of my game time has been devoted to Astroneer. I'm not going front, man.
Yeah.
I'm on the end game level of that game, so it's just crazy.
Perfect. How about you, Meg?
Crata. I can't make anything. I give up. I'm straight up just not going to make anything. But I've been playing other people's games and having a lot of fun. And I'm going to be checking out Shapes and Beats. I haven't actually played it yet, but I'm going to, and I'm excited for it because I really want to see how they have apparently merged the gameplay with the music. I hope it lives up to my expectations. I saw you streaming it earlier. I couldn't watch it because I was like setting up all this stuff, but I want to check it out. But yeah, Crata mostly. I've been meaning to play more Elder Scrolls, but I just haven't gotten to it. I don't know. Maybe tonight, late tonight, I'll play. We'll see.
That's shocking to hear.
I know.
MM, what have you been up to?
Brian, can I say something very quickly about the Shapes and Beats? Because I've played Shapes and Beats in an event back in November, and the soundtrack there was a completely different from the game. The game looks like only techno music, and on the event they had like proprietary music, like Rage Against the Machine, Guns N' Roses, but probably that is just a version for the event.
Yeah, I can see that because that would be a licensing nightmare. Well, I mean, it wouldn't be a nightmare; it'd just be a very expensive licensing. MM.
I wanted to play Crata, but I'm like Meg. I suck at trying to build stuff. I remember when RPG Maker first came out, I swore I was going to be a developer. And when I showed my product to everybody, they had that look when Homer Simpson brought out his car that he was working on. Remember on that episode of The Simpsons? So that's when I learned that I suck at building stuff. But I have been playing Division 2, of course. That's my number one go-to. I've been playing... you know what? Division 2 and Eddie was in my stream. Monster Boy. Monster Boy has taken my soul. That era of games is just phenomenal, like Brian was saying earlier. And I'm so glad that Stadia is bringing these games, and everything doesn't have to be AAA, but they're bringing you quality AA. They're trimming the fat. They're not just throwing a whole bunch of garbage at you. Right. And Monster Boy is just one of those games that's just high quality, and I'm enjoying it. So Monster Boy and Division 2 for me.
Perfect. And Chase, what have you been up to?
Actually, I've only been playing 2 games. So Crata, but specifically Prop Hunt. Love it. Such a good game. It's always a different set with it, like regardless of who you play with, it's always different every game. Like someone plays a different way than someone else does. It's always a different experience. I've also been playing a lot of 3 games. That's a lie. So Elder Scrolls, I played a little bit earlier this week with Kai, and got some missions or quests, if you will, knocked out.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, I just love hopping on PUBG. I mean, it's such, I don't know what it is. It's just playing for 2 or 3 rounds. I'm sorry, Meg. I know. 2 or 3 rounds of pub. It's nice, especially doing either duos or trios. So yeah, that's basically all I've been playing.
I really played anything. I just did a couple first looks, and that's about all I've had time for. So I jumped in a little bit of F1, which is a tough game, and then played a little bit of Just Shapes and Beats this week. And I think that's really all I've been able to play this week. So I'm now on vacation, so I'm going to change that. It's going to be a lot of catching up to do. But enough of me and what I play. Let's talk about what's coming up on Sunday. And that, Eddie, go ahead.
No, I had one question to MM regarding Monster Boy, because I think it was Cold Blood saying some stuff, right, MM?
Oh yeah. I thought you were going to make fun of me because I died like 11 billion times in 5 minutes. But
no, because I remember.
That's a great focus. What was he saying again, Eddie?
This game sucks.
Yeah.
Basically, it's saying it should be a JRPG focus on like Zelda and something, but you had an awesome response to that. What did he say? He said that it should be a 3D side scroller, and I said, "What next? It should have been dipped in nitrogen oxide or something like." People try to find the weirdest things to hate on Stadia on.
This is an award, an acclaimed game. Okay, it's gotten the praise everywhere. People that played it back then said, and have played it on Switch, said it is the definitive version to play. They're saying the same thing about Octopath Traveler, me and Meg's favorite game. You know what I mean? So, like, people need to cut the bull crap. And shout out to Cold Blood Sensei. I love him. I love him for the banter. But there's just some people that I've even had to learn. You just gotta let them be in the woods somewhere, man, because it was ridiculous. I know I was giving him that work, Eddie, but some of the stuff he was saying was just crazy.
Good.
Yep.
Yeah. we can dive more into that. So, was he talking about Monster Boy? Is that
he was talking about Monster Boy, man?
Same.
That's okay. It's
Sounds like Chrome.
Can I just say something about that? That just really. I almost dropped the F-bomb. That really annoys me. It really annoys me that people hate on. Like, I get it. Look, you know my philosophy. You can like something and talk about it and not hate on something else and be respectful about it. But there are some folks, man, that have just really trashed indie games. And it's like, again, I like what Germani says about it all the time because I think he's absolutely right. Guys and gals, we wouldn't have some of the amazing features that we have in games now if it wasn't for indie games. They have to exist to push the envelope, to push us forward. And there's been indie games that I've enjoyed a hell of a lot more than I have some AAA games. So I just think that's a really – listen, I'm just going to say Gamer Chase here speaking. It's a really stupid argument. I hate hearing it. I hate hearing that argument because, look, if you like AAAs, that's fine. But don't hate on the other games that other people like. We all should be entitled to what we like and what we don't like. And if you don't like that, that's fine. Leave it alone.
Like the West of Loafing that dropped for us on Pro. There are a lot of people saying, a handy sketch game, but Meg can talk more because she did a first look, right, Meg?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
you want me to talk more about it?
We'll get there with the dry pro games in a moment.
Okay.
On to what you're saying, Chase, because that's a very valid point. Because I just had this conversation online with someone when the Celeste announcement was made. In the Twitter section, someone said shovelware, not what Stadia was advertised to do. More disappointment after disappointment. First of all, Celeste, no, not shovelware. There's a huge difference.
Wait.
Game of the year contender is shovelware.
Yeah. Let's continue.
Wait, Brian.
Yeah,
I think we really have to pause for a moment and really try to understand. I hate saying this, but definitional wise, does this stand? I almost have to say pause for dramatic effect because how is that game shovelware? Wasn't it, correct me if I'm wrong, brother. I think you talked about this. This was rated as a game of the year contender. It was up in the top 3. Was it not?
Yeah, I think Eddie refreshed my memory when I was saying to Cold Blood. He was hooting the same garbage, scooping the same garbage. And I said to him, outside of what PlayStation with Ghost of Tsushima and Last of Us 2, which are just 2 games, who's really dropping AAAs all over the place? Who's laying AAA eggs all over the lawn here? Nobody. You know what I'm saying? So, where is this coming from? This is like a drunken gas leak induced rant that these people are trying to get into. And it's ridiculous.
It gets worse. It gets worse, believe it or not. All right. So the guy that gets responded, he says Celeste is one of the highest rated games of all time, which it is.
Yeah.
And then this Andrew Cat says, and also a game my phone could run.
Oh my god!
Then I respond with, "Your phone can run Knights of the Old Republic, Final Fantasy 7 and 9. That makes those games shovelware."
Right? What are you talking about?
Nice.
And he says, "No, I'm referring to what the game Stadia has just announced. Don't defend this dude. It's absolute garage, not garbage." And I say
maybe he meant it's going nowhere. It's absolute garage. Yeah. That's what he meant.
And I tell him that you're implying because the game can physically run on a smartphone and makes it bad, which is certainly untrue. Clearly, he has never played Celeste.
Hold the phone for 1 second. I got to say something again about this. This is what happens, folks. Listen, this is why I say all the time, don't let people back you into a corner with just ridiculous arguments like this because right there, that guy needed to stick to the narrative. If it's shovelware and it's because it's on a phone, then stick to the fact that you brought that up. Don't try to then dance around the fact that you then said, oh, wait. Well, that's not exactly what I meant. But that is the point I was making initially. Right. No, homie. You said it runs on a phone, therefore it's shovelware.
Yeah. Hold on. I just want to interject real quick. Can you highlight what Jim just said? Jim in the chat? Because that's the mic drop. Yeah. That's the mic drop moment right there.
That's a good point.
Like,
what? Yeah.
Stop it.
Right. Yeah. Hello.
Eddie.
So for the podcast listeners, Jim Stadia said that I can run Red Dead Redemption 2 on my phone with Stadia, which is absolutely
straight up
true.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm sorry. I just had to say something.
Sidebar over. Yeah. Ubisoft, exciting stuff happening on Sunday, possibly, maybe, we don't know. I guess we can talk about what we can expect. Eddie's very clued into the Ubisoft side of things. Eddie, you want to go ahead and take this?
Yes, I forgot.
Yeah, please.
It's just because I forgot one thing that I have been playing, and I'm looking for this Sunday, which is Hyperscape. Hyperscape, it's coming back off this technical test, and it's launching this Sunday, even if it's on PC or there are rumors it's going to launch on console, because Ubisoft already confirmed it's launching on console before the end of summer. So we will have an idea, and I do believe with the bottom of my heart that this game is coming to Stadia.
No, it's got to.
I hope so.
Is there crossplay currently planned for it?
Yes. And cross-save.
Yeah.
No, cross-play and cross-progression, they said.
Yes.
Well, there you go. It's beautiful stuff. So let me just have this in the background, make us look kind of presentable here. So we have the Ubisoft Forward event on Sunday. Don't have a time off the top of their head before I go do some sleuthing.
3 p.m. Eastern time. Actually, they start a pre-show at 2 p.m. And on that pre-show, they're going to be talking about titles such as Trackmania, The Division 2, and some updates on other games as well. But the main show, we know that's going to be talking about this game that is just appearing right now that I don't remember the name, which is Watch Dogs.
Legion. I know you.
So yes. So it's all about Watch Dogs, Hyperscape, and other surprises, as they say. Oh, I'm sorry. Valhalla, Hyperscape, and Watch Dogs, and other surprises.
And I see Just Dance on there. Just putting that out there. Okay.
Surprise, mother.
So Eddie, besides Hyperscape, I mean, we know Watch Dogs Legion, we know Assassin's Creed Valhalla is coming. Do you think there's any other Stadia presence that we aren't aware of just yet that might be a part of this event?
Yes. A few hours ago, just dropped a quick teaser. I think the name of the actor is Giancarlo Esposito.
Yes.
Thank you for I got it right. I almost said Despacito, but Giancarlo Esposito is a famous guy from Breaking Bad. He was what's the name of his character on Breaking Bad again?
Gus Fring, and he was also one of the villains in The Mandalorian season 1.
So he is gonna be the main villain on Far Cry, which we'll be seeing on this Sunday on Ubisoft as well. So I think that title is coming to Stadia.
Which I thought that was his face. It was hard to tell. That was him, huh? I love that guy. Great actor. Yeah.
As long as half of his face doesn't go missing like it did in Breaking Bad, that was sick.
That was a great scene.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
So that just got kind of leaked though, didn't it? Far Cry.
Leaked, but official. Like Ubisoft officially announced that they're gonna be talking about. So they leaked a quick teaser of him lighting a cigar and saying more to come on this Sunday.
Perfect. So I'll start with you, and then I'll go the rest of the cast. Far Cry 6, is that a game that interests you? Does Giancarlo's involvement have any effect, or were you always a Far Cry fan? Or not?
I played Far Cry 3 with Voss. Then I skipped the 4, and then I played the 5th because you could pet dogs. So I'll probably give it a try again. Okay. Yeah, I'll need to look at the scenery, how it's going to be the story. The good thing about Far Cry is that you don't need to be playing in a sequel. Every game has its own story, and you can pick it up at any game.
And then Chase just let me know that it might be a prequel to 3. Have you guys heard about that? I don't know if anyone.
That kind of got spoiled. I was a little disappointed because people pick up on clues, and I don't know. Do we want to talk about it here? Is it?
I wouldn't. I was just going to say that there's pretty good, strong hints.
There's some clues. Yeah.
So we'll keep the story elements out of it. But MM2K, are you a Far Cry fan at all?
Oh man, before Stadia, I'm an Ubisoft fanboy for one. I had to look. I still love Fallout 76. I know, boo, so Jenny. But I kind of fell off the Bethesda bandwagon this generation. They really haven't done it for me. And I used to be a hardcore Bethesda fanboy, but I'm an Ubisoft fanboy at heart. Far Cry 5 is all I played for like a whole year on PC until Stadia came out. So that's why I'm really scratching and itching and clawing for Uplay Plus to come. You know what I mean? But I'm really interested in 6.
How about you, Germani?
Yeah, I played a few of them. I'd be interested to see what they bring. Obviously having him there makes me much more interested. To give it a second look, really. But yeah, we'll see.
Awesome, Chase.
I mean, I love Far Cry. As soon as I heard that, again, I won't spoil anything, but as soon as I heard some of the elements that potentially are happening in this game, I immediately got super stoked about it. And what would be amazing, which I don't think is going to happen, to be fair, I know we all think, or let me not say we all think, we all want Uplay Plus to come out in the summer, right? Mm-hmm. I just don't think it's happening. I think it's in the fall. And what would be amazing is we get Legion, Far Cry, and another game as the marquee titles for Uplay Plus, which would sell it. Like that would be the reason that people would say, you know what, I will go pick up Uplay Plus because I'm getting these 3 marquee games, especially if they put Rainbow Six Quarantine on there as well. That's going to entice people.
Are new games a part of Uplay Plus?
Yes. Yeah. Oh yeah. Day and date. Yeah. Wow, I mean, the way it works on PC is you pay your $15 and then you get all Uplay games, day and date. You get the Ultimate Edition too. Mm-hmm. So anything, all the season passes, all that stuff. That's how it works on PC. So it'll be interesting to see how it works on Stadia once it's enacted.
I do have a prediction about that. Me and Eddie have talked about this, but I wanted to leave this here so that we can come back to it. Yeah. The Stadia version will be cheaper than PC, and you will also get PC access. That's my bet.
That would be awesome. That would be hey, Eddie, I'm holding you to that. I'm giving Chase a pass on that. But if it doesn't happen, I'm holding you to it.
No, Eddie didn't say that. I said it, so don't hold Eddie to it. It's me.
I'm gonna still hold Eddie.
Fair enough.
He was making fun of me while I was playing Monster Boy. He was laughing at me.
I wasn't. I wasn't too much.
That'd be. I mean, because they're not going to have as many games as the PC version, obviously. So, I mean, that'd be sweet. So, you think like a $10 price point, Chase?
No. So, I think what is right now for PC, it's $14.99, right? Mm-hmm. So, what I could see them doing is $11.99, or $10.99. I think 11 is probably their sweet spot. If they're going to go any lower than that, it doesn't make any economical sense. Yeah. But they're going to have to give a reason as to why you'd want to play this on Stadia. And I think and again, I'm speaking to the general audience here, the compelling reason that you get someone to buy into this would be you can play on Stadia, but if for any reason you're not on Stadia, you still have access to the PC library. That's going to be what is compelling to people.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Maybe we could talk about that in the after-hour show because I got 1,000 questions on that. I do, and you guys would have better answers than I would, but that's an interesting point to bring up. So
on Uplay Plus,
on Uplay Plus, about it working that way. I mean, it's a possibility, but it's a strong possibility. I believe you guys are onto something. I just got questions behind it though. Fair enough. But I don't want to take up the show.
And then Meg, Far Cry, is that something you're interested in?
I would play it. I never played any of the Far Cry series, actually.
Meg.
But I played a lot. I know. I played a lot of
your anger because she's not the only one
on Stadia, and so I would definitely check it out if it came to Stadia because I really like Ubisoft now, especially because they're all over Stadia, so they're like half of what I play these days.
Yeah, they're very supportive of the platform, which is nice. But like Meg, I've never touched a Far Cry game in my life. But with
this man,
it's not just me.
No. But
you're okay, Meg, but boo this man.
But no, yeah, Gus Fring's involvement is definitely interesting to me. So I'll keep an eye on it. I definitely probably won't be a day one purchase though, but I will be watching you guys do your thing with it. But we can. Do we think we'll hear anything about Uplay Plus for Stadia? Are we all kind of? All right, let me back up. Do you think we're gonna hear Uplay Plus at all this week from either the Kinect or?
I think so.
Okay,
I think
so.
We'll hear about it, but I don't think anything about Stadia.
So
I think a little bit differently. I think you'll hear about it. I think you'll hear about Stadia, but I don't think you're going to get a date. I don't think you're going to get a date. You're definitely not going to get a date. I think I'm with Chase. Like it's going to be, it's still coming this year. You know what I mean? Type ordeal. But I think they'll bring it up.
So if they said like coming winter, does that count as a date for you?
Oh well, I guess that would.
That's better than nothing. I mean, I'd rather them at least give us a timetable. I'd be
That's
fine
better
with that.
than normal. Yeah, but I don't know.
Okay. Chase, you were shaking your head. You don't think you'll get a release date this week for Uplay Plus? Or
I think you hear about Uplay Plus at Ubisoft Forward. I don't think you hear anything about Stadia. And if they do mention it, it's what MM just said. It's coming this year. Mm-hmm. And you definitely are not going to hear about it at the Kinect. I mean, I just it's not ready. Like, I know people want it to be unless, again, and let me back up because Eddie has made this point before and he's right. Unless they've been working behind the scenes on like 20 games that we have no idea about that they've already started working on getting onto the platform, then maybe. But if you don't have at least 25 or 30 games on this for Stadia at this point, there's no way people are going to buy into that. They're just not. I
mean, them being one of the other early partners in having this idea already out there, I assume they've been working on it since day one, essentially. So, I mean it's possible, but it's just been so quiet on that front. I don't see it yet either. Does anyone else feel like Uplay Plus is definitely going to be talked about on Stadia this week by anyone?
So no. I do think that they will say Uplay Plus is coming. It's coming to these platforms without giving much detail on how many games. Mm-hmm. But they will be saying Uplay Plus is coming by the end of the year. It's coming to these platformers, and you will hear more details in the months to come.
Fair enough. Is there anything else about the Ubisoft event we wanted to cover before we move on?
Oh, yes.
Go ahead.
I'll just drop it and let everybody talk about it because I'd be curious to hear everyone else's thoughts. I think in the hour or two prior to the actual event going live, I do think we're going to hear about Siege.
So without them actually doing anything, it's just going to be dropped like on Twitter or something?
No. So Eddie was talking about, they're doing a build up to the actual event. So they're going to be talking about current games that are already active. Yeah. And I think they're going to talk about what the vision for Siege is, like free to play, seasons, all that stuff. They may not necessarily name Stadia outright because that might be saved for the Kinect, but I do think you're going to hear about Siege. I really do.
Fair enough. Anyone else feel Siege is definitely a part of this event on Sunday?
More like the event on Tuesday.
It's interesting timing though, like having this literally neck and neck with the other event on Tuesday. So like Ubisoft presence is going to be weighted towards the Ubisoft event or more towards the Kinect. So I mean, it's something to watch for.
They drop a whole bunch of like little teaser things, and then we are like, wait, what? And we go into the Kinect, and it's like it's like the appetizer before the main course.
Yeah. So Ace here from Cloud Gaming Extreme, he thinks that Uplay Plus is going to be stealth dropped at the Stadia Connect. That would be, I think, very newsworthy. I don't feel that confident in it, but I love it. But yeah. So moving on, we got some new games this month so far. Let's see, was Elder Scrolls last month already?
Yeah.
Wow,
it was June.
Quick few weeks. Jeez. Okay, so we had some new pro games. We have Monster Boy, West of Loathing, Crata, and SteamWorld Dig. I know a lot of us talked about Crata, so let's just start with Crata. Because Eddie and Meg, you guys did a collaborative stream with the developers, right? One of you guys care to talk about it?
Go ahead, Meg.
Yeah, we did they called it a streamer play along, and it was on the Create a channel, and there was Eddie and I and a bunch of other streamers, I think 8 other streamers, and we all did like about 20 minutes of gameplay overlapping with each other, trying out a bunch of different games that were made by the community. So not games that Create a made, but actually like community people who made them. And it was amazing because the game's only been out for a week, and the quality and the variety of the different games that people have made on Create was actually awesome. So I thought it was a lot of fun. I was really stressed. It's stressful to be on someone else's channel and then on a developer's channel, and then you're not even in like your own stream, and there was a bunch of viewers. So I was really nervous, but I think it went really well, and I had a lot of fun. Eddie, I assume the same for you.
Yeah, I couldn't handle as good as you did. I couldn't even take a look at chat. I was too nervous, but it was good. I ended up playing. I played with you, and then I played with Jem, and I had fun playing those games I played over there.
Now, did they hit you guys up with any new information about the possible roadmap coming up for Create? Like, is there anything new that they're going to add or anything specific they want to achieve with it?
So before we actually going live on its stream, we were on a separate voice channel, and I asked it about, so Create a team, when we're getting Proper Hunt 2 or second map of Proper Hunt, because not Proper Hunt. Proper is Proper Hunt is Chase.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's not a proper hunt from hell, I'm telling you.
But so I asked, hey, when are we getting another map on Prop Hunt? It said, stay tuned. We will have more information to share about that very soon.
Oh, there you go. So, Germani, you said you've jumped into Create a little bit. Is this more of a game for you that you want to create stuff, play stuff, a little bit of both, or is it just not for you?
No. I mean, I've said it before the game came out, that it's definitely going to be a game for me that I'm going to go into and look at what the community builds. That's what excites me about Creata. It's definitely focused on, you jumping into the game and creating your own game based on your own ideas and everything like that. And then, on the flip side, people like me who are interested get to jump in on that way. That for me is how I've enjoyed the game. I haven't even really touched the creation side of the game because, the time it takes, we'd even get involved with that, but I'm telling you, I'm having a lot of fun with. I played really 2 main games that I've been playing, which is obviously the Prop Hunt. I mean, how can we not do that? I played Proper Hunt too. That was a great game.
Proper Hunt.
Well, that was a great game. I need to put that in there. Matter of fact, I might make that game. Me and Chase. I think we could co-op on that.
Yeah.
And then what was it called? I got to get this right because I've been butchering it the whole time. It's I can't remember the damn name. It's Sunset Ranch or something like that. It's a farming game, but
Tumbleweed Ridge.
Tumbleweed Ridge. Thank you, man. Sunseed, Sunflower Ranch,
Crescent.
all kind of stuff. Thank you, Tumbleweed Ridge. I love that game. And then speaking, I know we talked. I think it was last week about the the buttons on the phone when you're playing on the screen. I've been able to play that game successfully, no problems on the phone, just using the touchscreen. It's worked very well, So it's definitely a game now. Where instead of picking up a game, I play when I want to have a time waster real quick. I play Tap Titan. I usually do that, but now Tumbleweed Ridge, I picked that up and I'm playing a full console game made by a creator. Using those touchscreen buttons, it works fine. In games like that, I don't have to be accurate with shooting or anything like that. Right. So it's been a lot of fun there. Yeah, I enjoy it.
Perfect. MM2K, what's been your take on Creata? If you've had one.
Well, no, I definitely am interested in it. I've been creator shamed back in the RPG Maker days, so I let my son face up to the embarrassment. I signed him to work with Andy, and he's doing some pretty decent stuff. He's been working on Unity and some other things, so he definitely loves Creata, and he's been looking at all the tutorials and everything. So I think it's a great game. I saw Chase, and who was it? Chase Project, Link, a whole bunch of you guys. 6-4 on 6-4's channel playing the Rainbow Six Siege lookalike game. So
that was fun. That was fun. Except for the fact that my team kept dropping out on me.
Listen, man, no, don't pass it. Listen, I went in and tried to do what I was supposed to do.
I ain't talking about you. And then the whole PUBG gang, jumped on the same thing, ganged up on us. I was like, come on, man. That was dope.
It's just the creative wonder behind that game, man, and everybody's playing it. Like I'm the only one not playing it. I feel like
it's great.
So I think highly of it, and when I get some time, when I can pry my way from Monster Boy, when I don't die 11 billion times, I'll put some time into it.
Perfect.
I swear the art designer though, when it came to the clothes, the aesthetics of the characters, they maybe popped a few shrooms and like did a hyper loop of what is that that movie? What is that damn movie? God, I had it at the tip of my dang tongue. I said it during my stream too. Oh man, the one with Chris Tucker and God dang. Lee, I can't even think of it. The dude from Die Hard.
Is it the Sixth Element?
Sixth Element.
Fifth Element. I swear he took some shrooms and just like went on repeat on Fifth Element because all the characters like they're from Fifth Element. I swear.
That's how you describe the Fifth Element? The guy from Die Hard and Chris. Okay, I can't even with this right now. I'm sorry. I love the Fifth Element. Yeah, how could you not like? Oh my God, you couldn't even remember Bruce Willis. No. Oh my God, the guy from Die Hard. You know.
Wait. Before we start throwing people under the bus, let's not do that. Okay.
We can do this, Meg.
That movie with Willie Bruce.
Yeah, Willie Bruce was his name. The Tucker guy. No, but
I can't with y'all.
Tucker and Willie Bruce. That movie.
I just lost it, man. I lost it. I was gonna say from Hard Boiled, okay, by the way.
I don't know what to say.
Sorry, guys.
Chase, how has creative been for you?
What is it? No, I think it's a great concept. I think it's, if you wanted me to give an honest impression, it's like, again, not just as a gamer, right? Because I don't normally talk from that lens. I don't think it's a completely developed game yet. I think it has a lot of room to grow. It's not where it should be yet. But that has a lot to do with there's people still creating, but there's still people creating games for the actual title. So at this point, I think there's some games on there that are interesting, like Prop Hunt is a lot of fun. Like it's a lot of fun. All right, I gotta.
What the hell's going on?
I have no idea.
Why did everyone just like click the camera off?
All right.
So it's the
reasons
Eddie,
for
MMPK,
reasons.
and Brian show. Oh, Meg's back. I don't know what just happened. Okay. I'll wait for Chase to get back because I'm not sure if he had anything else to say. Are you back? Are you good?
Yeah, I'm good. That's why I was struggling with talking about it.
Chase, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
When you're saying the game is not where it should be, where do you think it should be already?
I think the thing for me, and this is just someone that's not a coder, right? That doesn't do code. I think they need to have a more basic mode for creating things or putting things out into like an undeveloped space. I still think it's a little too much. Initially, I didn't think it was that bad, but after I kind of played around with it, I'm like, I'm somebody that's got a little bit of computer knowledge, but not that much. But if I'm struggling with it, I can only imagine like a casual player. They're not gonna want to play around with all that stuff. So I think they've got to figure out a way to offer a mode that's, I don't want to say, because I know Meg has made this comparison about Fortnite, about how you can build things in Fortnite, but I almost feel like they've got to have some type of a mode that's almost similar to that, but maybe not exactly the same, to just make it easier for someone to get into it. And then if they want to go more expansive, then they can start jumping into the coding. They really don't have that right now. So I think that's the biggest drawback for the game for me. I mean, if I'm being honest.
You know what? And as someone on the outside looking in, I'm listening to people say that, and that's one of the reasons why I haven't dived into it. Not because I won't like it, but when you're starting off at like a gumshoe level, you want something that you can just drop and plop. You know what I'm saying? And that sounds kind of messy, but something you could just put in on all over the field, like Minecraft or something a little bit easier for you to start off with at an elementary level, then build yourself up to. And it sounds like that Crata lacks that at the moment.
Yeah, drop and plop all over the field.
Yeah, the proper is starting to take effect. Yes. So
good time to mention our.
What is Bex done?
Our unofficial sponsor is Proper 12, so we want to thank Proper 12 and Conor McGregor for making this podcast even more enjoyable than it already was. So.
Alec Kazam said, "Good God." I didn't mean it. I'm sorry.
Just dig it.
All right, so
Brian.
Yes.
I'm gonna be back. It's already dark outside. I'm gonna go inside.
Okay.
All right.
Eddie is being kicked out from the outside. Good
Stay
luck.
cool.
Eddie shall be back. So moving on to the rest of the pro games. Chase. Okay.
Chase is gone.
Too much Proper 12 has been taken.
Yeah. It's in rotation.
Not possible.
I can't wait.
I'm sorry, Cap. Go ahead. I just Meg's on a roll tonight. We had to shout out.
I don't know where to go from here. Chase, what
pro games.
Yes,
Yeah, you're saying pro games, man.
Your favorite pro game of the month. Go ahead and
go. Other than Crata, like, are we all gonna? I feel like we'd all say Crata.
We wouldn't all say Crata.
We wouldn't all say Crata.
I wouldn't.
No, Crata's not mine. It's
not mine either.
It's Monster Boy.
Monster Boy.
3 against 2. What do we got? Germani, what's yours?
I hadn't played Monster Boy yet, or I haven't played any of the other pro games. So
you don't even need to play Monster Boy. You already know it's better than Crata. Let's just put it.
Well, I mean, yeah. I have to say, I know that it's definitely a polished, game in the genre. So, at this point, that is actually a fact. If you're looking at technicality and stuff, like it was mentioned, that Crata, I'll be honest, Crata does need some animation work. It does need, some work with the aiming, as was mentioned in the, in the comments here. It does need some work. I mean, running like this all day long, come on now. I'm wearing my.
Come on! Don't criticize how somebody runs. That's low. That's just low.
With my fishnet, my fishnet sleeves, running like this, I love
my fishnet sleeves. Okay.
I'm just saying,
Germani, can you do that again? Hold on, let me see what do this. Do it again.
Okay, do it again. You got my fishnet, my scarf on, my blonde hair with the black shirt.
There's so many screen cap moments from this episode. Yes. It's not even funny.
Straight Fifth Element, and then I'm shooting my gun. Bad aim. I mean, I feel like Chris Tucker for real. Come on.
Okay, the shooting, I agree. The shooting could feel better. I agree.
They need a little work. They need a little work. I love the game though. I think it's fantastic. But I do believe, obviously, Monster Boy is a better game technically, for sure.
Don't say technically, it just downright is a better game.
It is. But right now, I am having a ton of fun.
It's just like trying to end the debate. Yeah, we're not having opening arguments. It's the
I can't even argue, man. I can't argue with the man. But I'm having fun with Crata right now.
It's a really awesome tool. But Chase has pretty much put every thought I had into a much better way of saying it. So I'm just gonna piggyback off him. But Monster Boy is number one. Meg, is Crata going to be your number one pro game of the month?
Yeah. I mean, Crata definitely. I mean, and Monster Boy isn't even second place.
Oh, Jesus.
I
Only
can't
two.
even. Yeah, no.
Okay, hold
Wow.
No.
That's
Need to
all.
time out Meg right now.
Yeah,
You know, let me go ahead and time out.
Hey, I listened to your opinion and I didn't say anything. I'm joking. But you guys know I didn't play like Mario, and so the whole side scrolling platforming
It's
it's just not my thing. It's just not my thing.
You're gonna have to when Celeste comes out. All right, so I'm just
Woo,
might as well get that started now.
She might not want to play no.
We'll save Celeste's opinion until Celeste comes out.
Yeah.
Are you gonna be like that Twitter fool that has no idea how good of a game Celeste is?
I don't got a little.
Eddie,
This
Your favorite
episode's title needs to be changed.
it's
to
going off
Zero
the rails.
to Zero.
Off the rails. That's a good episode title. Eddie, what's been your favorite pro game of the month? Let's see if he's gonna.
Kratom.
There's a tie.
There we go. Thank you.
It's just because I didn't have too much time to play Monster Boy, and my wife had spent already almost 50 hours on Kratom.
Wow.
50. Damn. So she's been making a lot of levels and stuff like that. Or
Yeah,
playing just the game?
we're working on a level together, but she kind of broke it, so I'm waiting for support from Unity 2 Games to bring the game back.
Oh wow.
Oh, like legit, like it's
Like legit,
completely crapped out. Now.
Yeah, she broke the. We were building a house.
Yeah,
and she ended up breaking it, but not her fault.
So define breaking. What exactly happened?
So you install packages once you cannot code. So you install packages, and on these packages there are codes. There are the whole scenario that you are creating. You can just download the whole. For example, Brian Chappelle had created The Floor is Lava, and you can download the package, and on that package it has this whole scenario that he created. And my wife has installed every single package available on Kratom.
Oh.
And that broke our game.
Oh wow.
So it wasn't as simple as Control Z. You just had to kind of.
You can really make it save.
Nope. Unfortunately, no. But I thought I was gonna lose everything, but the guys told me that they can fix it.
It's like the reply all of Krata. Like
Basically,
download all.
Yeah. Like, are you sure you want to install all of these games inside your game? And yes.
Sounds like you want it.
Sounds like fun, but at the end, it
Jim,
wasn't.
never find any of your state share beta level. I'm sorry.
Did you guys have anything more to add to the pro? Did anyone else play F1 2020? Or I think did Just Jason Beats come out?
Yes.
Not for
this
$70.
month at the very end of it. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's not $70 anymore. It's $60.
Well, it was.
It was. Yes, you're correct. But no one has played it, or I mean, is this a game that would interest any of you guys to begin with, even if it was like a $30 game?
I'm interested. I mean, definitely $30. Yeah, I'm definitely interested though. Have you played it? You played it?
Yeah, I played it for about a couple hours.
How do you like it?
It's not easy.
Oh,
Let's
okay.
just put it that way.
Very sim.
Very. But I do like that. So I mean, once I get a little bit more dedicated, look at that. 2016.
Oh,
wait. Your kid didn't take the disc out this time, did he?
Wait, the disc is here.
Nice. I know you've had that issue.
The disc is unplayable. Let's see.
How bad do you have to mess that up for a Blu-ray disc not to work?
Well, I didn't try. It can be clean, and I think it can work. But anyway, I remember getting this at a sale.
Yeah,
I don't remember how much of a sale it was, but it was. You see, it's still in Portuguese here. It says unlimited edition.
Mm-hmm.
But so as I said, I got this 2016. So 4 years ago, I was still in Brazil. I got it at a sale, but I had a lot of fun playing this game. So if in the future we see a sale on this game for 30%, 40% off, I think it's a good deal, and I would probably pick it up. Just especially because of the reviews I have been seeing on this game. It's like 4.5 stars, 4 stars, 5 stars.
I mean,
it look like the career mode. It's very interesting right now.
It's very, very well done. But some random question I just had. So you said it's a copy from Brazil.
Yep.
So with your PS4, can you play it on a North American PS4?
Yep.
Nice. Right. So it doesn't have. It's not region locked.
Actually, there is region lock, or there was region lock back in the PS3 era, but I don't think there's region lock anymore on the PS4. Gotcha. I know. Well, I know on Americas there's no region, not region lock. I remember that was more a thing on Europe and Japan or Asia market. Yeah. Because back on my PlayStation 3, I've already bought games in US, brought back to Brazil, and was able to play it.
Perfect. All right. Any other notes about the pro games you guys want to go over? Nope. All right. This is probably going to be one of the more interesting topics in terms of like what our opinions might be involved. So NBA 2K21 was recently announced, and you don't have to be an NBA fan to really have a part in this conversation because it really has anything to do with the basketball side of it at all. So recently it was announced that you can pick up the current generation version or the next generation version. We'll start with this part of it. So you have the platform availabilities. Stadia has been announced. Here's the next gen versions, PS5 and the Series X is listed over here. And then we got literally everything else over here. Stadia is included in the current generation version. Does this bother any of you guys right off the bat?
No, I don't really play sports games like that, so it doesn't really bother me.
Well, let me just. It doesn't have to necessarily be a sports game. It's just like, does Stadia getting a current gen version of a new game coming out bother you at all? Because if we look at the next gen version, they're looking at better graphics, better load speeds, new gameplay features, and expanded game modes, as they would put it here. So does it miff you a little bit that Stadia is getting kind of I wouldn't say secondhand version of the game, but not maybe the pristine copy of it?
Are they all launching the same day? Let's see. No. Okay. So yeah, it was already in production. So not really. Yeah, not really. No.
I have an interesting take. Oh no, go ahead, Eddie. I'll go last.
I just quick one on this. It's because I remember it was noticed as well that the PC version will be the same thing. PC is also getting not the next gen edition of this game this year, and on 2022 is gonna be the next gen. So it looks like on PC and Stadia players will need to wait 1 year to be playing the next gen graphics on this game.
I have a theory on that. I'll wait though.
So Eddie, are you saying that as a fact, or was that speculation?
That's a fact. If you want, I can go and get it. The tweet.
Okay. Meg, does this kind of thing bother you, or do you think this is just kind of just small potatoes and we shouldn't really care? She has no idea how to respond to small potatoes.
I personally don't care. But to some people, this may be an issue. Mm-hmm. I think it's just going to be a matter of time for Stadia.
That's fair. How about you, Chase?
I don't know. You might want me to go last because I've got it's a little involved.
All right. MM, did you have...
Yeah, I do.
We both wanted to go last, but...
Yeah, I know. Yeah, exactly. No, I'm gonna let because mine. I'm gonna use my tinfoil hat here to sell again the after hour show. You're definitely gonna want to tune into this, because it's gonna connect to that. This is like the series Dark on Netflix. Everything is just interconnected.
Great show, by the way.
Oh yeah, great show. Very very crazy, but great show. Just like me. Here, I have a theory on this. I'm not so sure that we're going to have to wait for an enhanced version. I think we got to remember that Stadia likes to keep stuff close to the vest. Mm-hmm. They have yet to, in a retail or a marketing fashion, mention Gen 2.0. So if they haven't mentioned Gen 2.0, and they don't want anybody else talking about anything potentially landing on Gen 2.0, then it would make sense that if there is an enhanced version, next gen version coming for Stadia, they're not going to announce it yet. They're just going to let Stadia talk about it because Stadia is so close to the event. So I think it's what I'm saying is I don't know if that's 100% fact, but I think it's too early to determine that we're only going to get a current gen version this year. We may get a next gen version, but they're not going to say anything about it again because Gen 2.0 hasn't been officially announced yet.
Gotcha. How about you, Chase?
Well, I was right in the private chat that MM got part of what I was going to say, but I think it's even deeper than that. And I have to kind of lay some breadcrumbs because it's a bigger issue that I'm going to bring up here. So the most recent Hey Google event that we just saw, Google did not announce any hardware. It was highly anticipated that they would. They talked heavily about the fact that due to pipelines and due to supply chains being impacted, that their bottom line and even their distribution pathways and their partnerships have been drastically impacted, like severely impacted. I'm not so sure, y'all, that Gen 2 was the process of being utilized, and COVID has completely caused them to scrap some of this because, again, what we have to remember is those pieces or those blades are what? They're hardware. They still have to be created. They still have to be installed, even though they're not physically coming to our homes. So my bigger take on this, and this is why I said I wanted to lay some breadcrumbs, is we didn't see anything at the Hey Google event. We heard them talk about how this is impacting them. And again, a broader distribution piece for Google as a whole. I'm not even so sure that you're going to see next gen as far as these consoles launch. I've said this before. I am not convinced. I don't care what Phil Spencer says, and I sure as hell don't care what Sony says. I don't believe it. I don't believe that these consoles are going to make it to market by the end of this year. There's too much volatility in these supply chains. And again, they just, we talked about this on the last show. They closed a couple of cities over in Asia, specifically in China, that are major manufacturing municipalities over there. And once you shut those down for even 3 or 4 weeks, you're talking about 6 to 8 month backups in supply chains. Folks, I don't see it. And I think some of this is it's almost like they're trying to get out ahead of it to say, yeah, we're going to, I'm not saying Stadia, but the other platforms. Yeah, we're going to be here this year. Yeah. I don't see it. And I think Stadia might actually just be being quiet on this because they don't want to start talking about that and then they can't deliver.
I just want to piggyback off what Chase is saying. Chase is absolutely right about supply chains being affected. I can't speak on it yet. Just stay tuned. It's almost like 90% confirmed that one of the console makers will not be coming out this year. I can't say who, just it's 90% confirmed. With that being said, it could have an effect on Google. I haven't heard anything about Google, but from what I understand and I'm getting this third hand from like what Stadia Cast has said and what other people have said that I've talked to, that there is capacity, at least for some games right now. That's why they switched some people over. So it may be like kind of what Chase is hinting to, that you may not see a full blowout of Gen 2, but I think you may see some games. Maybe 2K21 isn't one of them. I don't know. But I think you still will at least see some games, but he is right. We could talk about this in the after show as much as I can. One, it's going to shock people if this is 100% right. Yeah. One of the console makers are not coming out this year from what we're hearing.
So when you say that, you're saying like the PS5 or Series X may not come out in 2020?
Yep.
Listen, listen, this is not me trying to be happy about this. I've said this before. Yeah. I'm just dealing in facts, y'all. The reality is an additional, that was the big thing that was kind of looming over the gaming industry, is one more potential shutdown in any of these areas where it's either distribution or manufacturing, and you don't make it to market this year. You just don't. It's not possible. It's not possible based off of supply chains. And they're not just going to just make 1,000 consoles. That's not going to, they're going to have to be in a margin of 500,000 or 600,000 units to be, how do I say this the right way, for it to make business sense for them to even make the console. So if they can't even get close to that margin, they're just going to push it back. They'll have to. They won't have a choice because in dollars and cents, they'll lose so much money. It just won't be feasible. So I think that has something. Again, that's just my 2 cents on it. My gut is that might be what's also impacting Stadia.
Fair enough. That'd be. Let's just assume it's Sony. Would they be able to come back from that? Or would Microsoft just run away with it?
I don't. I mean, I'll just say it quickly. I don't think anyone's going to necessarily take a hit as far as mind share is concerned, but I do think economics wise, these companies are trying to play this really safe right now, because if they listen, Brian and panel, if they go out and they overextend themselves and they only make, let's say they can only get 175,000 units, they build all those units and make back a fraction of that cost, maybe only 40%. They can't swing that to their shareholders. I don't care what the circumstances are. It's not going to fly. So they're in a really tough spot here right now. And I think that's why you're seeing was posting some stuff on Twitter today from Phil Spencer. He's all over the place right now.
Dude,
He's all because they're scared, guys. They don't know how to deal with this. And I don't blame them. I get it. It's a very uncertain market right now. But I think that plays into a lot of the decisions that you're seeing from all these companies, including Google. And I think, for me, to be fair, I think I've criticized them pretty heavily. But I had to take a step back this past week when I heard that Hey Google event, and them really just be honest about, look, we've been really impacted. And I think that has a lot to do with why Stadia has been quiet on a lot of fronts.
If I'll just put it like this, if it's Sony, I wouldn't be worried so much, as long as the delay is only like several months and it's still Q1 of 2021 where it comes out. But if it's Microsoft, and again, this is not me just hating on Microsoft, they have a mind share battle that they are in a deep hole in. And again, I'm not speaking to the capabilities of the machine. I know there's people out there like, oh, he's hating on them again. No, they have a mind share battle that they are trying to fight for their lives for. What Phil Spencer came out with today and said really left a sour taste in a lot of people's mouths. And so if it's them, it's going to be more of a challenge. But the big thing for both of them is that it's not going to be catastrophic. It'll just be a lot of news at first. It won't be catastrophic, is because the majority of gamers don't buy next-gen consoles until like year 2, maybe year 3. So from what I understand, this is just going to be like a 3 to 6 month delay for at least one.
It's a strategic decision. It's a long-term decision.
There you go. So elsewhere in this little graphic, we can see in the next gen version, we see NBA 2K21 shows to be $69.99 US dollars. Does this price concern you guys, or do you think it's just part of the natural circle of life when it comes to video game production and development? As we kind of get to bigger technologies, more people required to develop these games. I mean, should we just accept this, or is this just kind of an outlier and 2K's taking advantage of the new situation? Eddie, what do you think about the new price increase?
As you said, as you just pointed correctly, that's actually 2K's, because there has been some other companies already putting titles and pre-launch prices for the next gen, and they still at $59.99. So looks like a few publishers will take the opportunity to do a $10 leap.
So do you think this 2K themselves trying to start a trend here and hoping that everyone will follow suit, that they can keep this price higher? Or do you think maybe other companies will take advantage of this higher price point from like a 2K and say, let's just release at the normal price point and maybe we can undercut some of our competitors here?
Actually, I think that could be a strategy just for the console launch.
Sure.
I have seen titles as well already with higher prices from $60 when they launch.
Yeah.
So, probably 2K or Take-Two was the very first big publisher to do this leap right now. But I'm not sure if it is it's going to be the new norm. I think we will need to see a few months to affirm 100% that that's the next price for the next gen.
Gotcha. Do you think do you agree with Eddie there, or do you think that we're looking at $69.99 as the new norm coming out in this winter?
You know, I got to disagree with Eddie because he was making fun of me dying 11 billion times. No, I
wasn't too much.
No, I'm drunk, Eddie. I can't help myself.
I'm trying to get to you.
You trying to get there, brother? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to get there.
It's show that again. Show that again. Hold on. Look at that. Look at that.
That just makes your drink look tasty, man. I need one of those. No, I have a slightly different opinion. I think that this is going to be the trend. I talked about this extensively on the podcast I do every Wednesday. It's called Scram Punk Shameless Plug, where people try to fight microtransactions and loot boxes. I know when you hear that, you're like, oh, greedy conglomerate America and businesses. Oh, don't do this. But, you know, it is a business. It's not a soup kitchen. Okay. Games cost money. Can't give them out for free. And if you guys want these AAA experiences with the Bibawatts and the gigahertz, and if the player base for console gamers, the main group that asks for AAA games doesn't grow, they're stuck at like 250,000. But the cost to make these games, they have ballooned from 5 million to 200 million. I don't even know what the percentage is. I'm too drunk to even come up and do the math. If the price to make these games are ballooning like that, then there's got to be some leeway somewhere. And I think that's why this gen we've seen a lot more quote unquote empty games as a service games than we've seen the number of stellar games that we saw last gen. With that said, I think that everybody wants to go to $70, but 2K they just have a GAF attitude. They're gonna do whatever the hell they want to do. And the reason why the other people haven't done it, as Eddie correctly alluded to, was that it was just put out this week. Microsoft alluded that they are pressing people to stay at $60 as this generation transitions. If they're pressing people to do that, they're not going to drop $70 prices yet. They're going to wait till like midway next year and be like, okay, the generational crossways, the octopathal travel way. I got to drop it once. It's over with now, and now we're all going to be $70. So I think everybody's going to do it, but 2K, they just don't GAF. That's all.
But don't you think like? In my opinion, the one that understood it right here, it was Epic, which is let's give gamers games for free and let them spend a ton of money on skins.
You as we saw today, Eddie, you can trust Tim Sweeney as far as you can throw his bifocals. As far as you can throw his bifocals. PlayStation wrote him the $250 million check, and he said that SSD can make toast and send you to the never-ending storyland. You can't believe him. Can't believe him. So I get your point. No, it's a great point, Eddie. But it's legitimate, but not from him.
Like, for example, Hyperscape is gonna launch soon, and it's gonna be free to play. I know it's a different title when you're talking about battle royales than a full developed game such as NBA, but companies need, especially EA. EA took a hard time, like with loot box. They were putting loot box on everything. Even on 2K, you have loot box, but it's called a little bit different there. There's even a roulette on this game, so it does sometimes feel like a casino with these loot boxes.
You're talking about 2K right now, right?
Yes.
Yeah, like it. Yeah, it's you literally go into like a room in the park, and it's like all these big wheels where you can spin stuff. It looks like a casino. Like they're not even trying to hide it at this point.
Yeah.
So they could be making money with microtransactions, but whenever you pay to win, it's different from cosmetics, and cosmetics does give the publishers a lot of money, and there are free-to-play games over there that can prove that.
Well, if you look at the landscape, you're right. Like if you look at NBA 2K, it's the worst example of being $70 first. I mean, VLC is just egregious there. But with that said, if you look at any other AAA games, they don't have the success with DLC. So they end up becoming a bust. Like you have games like Tomb Raider, where they told you we have to sell 7 to 10 million in order to just break even. So the majority of AAA games, and again, the focus is just AAA games. The majority of AAA games, they don't have that gimmick that, Fortnite was fortunate with, or COD, or whoever, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I think their games will definitely be $70 to help avert that risk. They're just not going to do it now because Microsoft is making them look bad to do it. So
yeah, that's a valid point.
Meg, I know you guys had talked about this on Tuesday. Did you have anything else you wanted to add regarding the possible price increase?
No, I think it's going to happen. I just think games get more expensive.
Yeah.
And I think this is just the start of the standard of game prices just going up again. I feel like they used to be like $40 way back in the day. $40 was like what you would pay for like a new game standard. And now it's like 60, 70. So it's going to go up 80, 90. Everything just gets more expensive, I think. Really this is just the start of it. And if they can come out with next gen games and make them an extra $10, they're going to do it. And people are going to pay it because they want to play the games. So.
And in Canada, it's going to be $89. Is that right?
No, we don't have to talk about Canada.
No, we got some.
That's right. You got the loonies, right? You can just collect the loonies.
We just got to keep throwing our loonies and toonies away.
The loonies. All right. Anything else we want to cover with the next gen news here?
No, I'll just say, I mean, there was a time when the N64 was out, games were $80.
Yeah.
Now it'd be like $110 now, if you look at inflation. So honestly, though, I think that 2K is just trying to take advantage of, a hot game. They know this hyper casual consumer. I know they're hardcore when playing these games, but pretty casual. They don't tend to buy a ton of different games. They're gonna pay this, but I don't think this is gonna be the trend moving forward.
You don't think it's going to be the trend moving forward?
No, I don't think so.
The price, you don't?
No.
I hope so.
Gotta remember that when console launches, usually it is the hype of the peak of sales of a console is when it launches. So maybe they are just trying to surf that wave.
Yep. Graphics.
I would love.
They would pay it, sure.
I don't know. I'm not feeling good about this one. I do think that $70 is going to be the new norm here because it's been a while since we've had a permanent price increase. But that being said, we're going to go ahead and move on. We got some interesting information this past week, I think it was, with the Orcs Must Die 3 information. It's been a long week. So let's be a better producer here and bring that up a little better. There we go. All right. So our good old friends over at Stadia Source. Chase, how does that little spiel go? The Stadia Source plug?
Yeah, it's this channel is affiliated with StadiaSource.com. Stadia Source is your number one destination for news and information regarding Google Stadia. Make sure you check out StadiaSource.com.
If you have a drink, bingo. All right. So, Orcs Must Die. Orcs Must Die 3 is a game that has been pretty much been bankrolled by Google, if I am remembering correctly. So without Google, Orcs Must Die 3 does not exist. If it does, it would be a lot longer from now. But we're finding out that we knew it was going to be a part of the July Connect in some way, but we didn't really officially know how exactly. But it looks like it will launch on the date of the Connect, as our good friends at Stadia Source found here. If you look at the actual listing now, it does say July 13th. So I wonder if that may be a misprint or if maybe it's going to release a little earlier. I'm not sure.
They're trying to draw people away from, which is.
So you're going to put an earlier date? I don't know. That's weird.
I'm kidding.
That's fair. But here's the bigger information about it. It's going to be free with Stadia Pro.
Yay!
So
20 games.
20 games. But
yeah,
I know
it makes to 20 games available at Stadia Pro right now when we get this.
Who needs Game Pass, right? Because I mean,
honestly, yeah, I don't get it.
And I'm not saying who needs Xbox Game Pass, but like a Stadia version of it, because this is pretty much it. Because it's you sign up on the day of the Connect, you're gonna get at least 20 games to start off, which is for $10. That's an amazing deal. But Orcs Must Die 3 coming as part of Stadia Pro has to be a pretty expensive venture for Stadia themselves, but it's going to benefit everyone that is interested in this game. Anyone out there been a fan of the Orcs franchise in the past that has played it and would like to talk about their hype for it?
I never played it actually, but I am definitely hyped to check this one out.
Yeah. I do believe they have like 500 enemies on screen. They're taking advantage of the actual technical aspects of Stadia, which is really cool. But just like Germani, I have no experience with the Orcs franchise either. Has anyone played an Orcs game before?
Yeah, Chase said he did.
Yeah. Chase, what do you got?
No, it's a great tower defense game.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got traps, it's got different mechanisms, it's got a co-op feature. I'm trying to think of the best way I can say this. I think that 500 wave is really going to be impressive.
Yes.
No,
I think it's going to be very impressive to see that in action, because there's not a lot of platforms that can do that, and even PC, you got to be kind of mid specs to really kind of pull something like that off, and that's at least what Germani, a rack, 2 racks, easy.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
So I know we all got excited about Grid in the 40 car races, and that was cool. Don't get me wrong. I think this is a much bigger accomplishment when you look at the scale of this game and what it's going to be able to do. Yeah. It's a big deal. So I'm looking forward to it. And I think the fact that you're getting it for free as part of Pro, I'll say this here. I'll drop it in here again real quick. I think we're going to get 4 to 5 Pro games on the Kinect. I think they're just going to load it up. I think they're going to load it up.
So I'm not going to ask for you to speculate on that, but do you have titles in mind that you want to kind of tease for Tuesday?
Siege is one that I think will drop on the Kinect. I think that's the more realistic game out of, we've heard Apex. I don't think Apex drops on Apex. I don't think it drops. I don't think it drops Tuesday. I think we just get an announcement about it. It'll probably come at the same time as the other platforms. I wouldn't be surprised if they make a pre-announcement about one of the Mafia games, saying that it'll be a Pro title. I just have a feeling about something's going on with that. Trying to think of what else. You got Kona.
Kona.
So I think that one probably will get a pro drop. I don't know about the other two. What's
Arena?
one? Yes, that's a good shot, Eddie. That's probably another one we could see. There was something else though too that we've talked about. It's not whatever. It'll come to me later.
Fair enough. So yeah, any other tidbits about Orcs Must Die you guys want to touch on before we move on past this one?
So
I'm really. Go ahead, Eddie.
No, Megatron X.
No, Eddie. No, go
ladies
ahead.
first.
Okay.
Go.
I am super excited for this game, even if it's only 2 people. I thought it was 4 people, and I found out maybe it's only 2 people. And I know everyone's talking about 500 enemies. It's like I'm so amazing. I don't really necessarily want to fight 500 enemies all at the same time. So I'm maybe not as excited as for that tidbit. Not that I only play easy games, but I mean, come on, 500, where are they going to draw the line? So maybe they just need to chill out a little bit with that. But I do think it's going to be really cool. The only tower defense game I've played, unpopular opinion, is Fortnite Save the World, which is really similar. You have hordes of enemies coming at you. You got to put down traps and build defenses. And it's so much fun, and I'm the best. So you guys better watch out, because I think I'm really, really going to like this game. And I'm so excited that it's pro, so we can all play together and we don't have to buy it and be like, oh, I don't have it. Whatever. Everybody gets it for free. So there's no excuse that we can't all play together. That's all I have to say. Eddie, go ahead.
Go ahead, Eddie.
No, I watched it a little bit on the gameplay from the channels. There were a few guys who got keys to early access to this game. And one thing very interesting is at the beginning of each stream, those guys say, these are the only things I can show you right now. I cannot make some comments. I cannot open this. I cannot open that. And these are the only levels I can play. So I think we're going to see some stuff here about the Connect, but let's save it for later on the show when we're talking about the Connect.
Fair enough. Anyone else want to touch on Orcs before we move on?
No, I think it's an important game. 500 characters on screen. Which one of the consoles you doing it on? You doing it on the most powerful console? Nope. So it's big for the platform. and I'm interested in seeing it. And I think a lot of people are interested because I heard during the AMA that they had everyone was pissing stones when they were like, nope, this is a Stadia timed exclusive. We have no plans to bring this anywhere else anytime soon. People were throwing fits. So, hopefully it'll actually draw a positive attention to the platform and get more people on it.
There you go. All right. So yeah, be interesting to. I mean, pretty much we've been spoiled on what's going to happen there. So if you had gotten this far without finding out about Orcs Must Die, I'm so sorry. But I don't know how you got that far and you're watching this. All right, moving on. We got some new games announced, ratings released. There's a bevy of these since we last discussed. NBA, we already talked about that. That's coming out on September 4th, if you weren't aware. Celeste just got announced was that today? No, it was yesterday. Celeste and El Hijo, which is Spanish for the Hijo. It's coming out. We don't know just yet. And that is a game from Handy Games, I do believe. That's not a game that's been elsewhere yet, has it?
No.
It's brand new. It's
brand new.
Perfect.
Yeah, I hadn't seen it before. Yeah.
TBA on Steam. I was looking at it. Non-violent. How cool is that?
That's cool.
Zero cool. I like violence.
Hey!
I like
Hey! Come on.
Okay, so those two off the bat. Celeste, I'm obviously really, 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 really hyped for. But how about you, Eddie, of Celeste and El Hijo?
I saw a little bit on the game. I saw it is very puzzle centric, and it got me very interested. Actually, Hand Game it's the publisher, but the developer I don't remember the name.
So
Handy Games.
What's the publisher?
Oh, I don't know the difference. Sorry.
Say that again, Brian.
No, I was just confirming what you said to Meg. So those two games, which one are you more excited for?
Celeste.
My man. How about you, Germani?
Celeste, man. Celeste, it may look colorful and all that stuff, but it's a hardcore game, y'all. It's a hardcore game. So,
people who plays Cuphead think it's hard. Celeste is hard as well. Cuphead.
Hard game. But it ties into the story and everything as to why. But it is a tough game.
And it puts it in your face how many times you die every time you complete a level, which is kind of funny. But I have a feeling we're all going to say Celeste except for one person here, so I'll save her for last. MM2K, how about you?
I would have said El Hijo. Did I screw that up? I probably did. I would have said that if it wasn't for the non-violent part, man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I mean, I like the design of it. I saw some of the trailer. It was on my show yesterday. You know what? No, the hell with it. I'm with Meg on this one.
Yeah.
Boo this man.
That's right.
El Hijo.
How about you, Chase?
I'm going to put us, I'm trying to see. We're going to be, yeah. So it'll be 4-2. Celeste is it's a great platformer. I'm excited. I'm excited to I've seen a couple of my friends play it. They've had nothing but positive things to say about the game. One of them actually made the exact comparison y'all just made about the level of difficulty between it and Cuphead. Mm-hmm. And they said that this game is, if not right there, some people have the opinion that it's a little bit harder. And I like those kind of games. I love the platform style, so I'm excited.
All right, Meg, go ahead and try to prove us all wrong.
Okay, so I am a very I'm a very visual gamer and person, and I am just find El Hijo to be visually appealing. I really like the art style. It's the same reason I was excited for Jotun. And I think it's really cool. And I think the whole aspect of being stealthy is cool. The kid is 6 years old. He's trying to be reunited with his mother. That's the premise of the story. And I just think it's so cool because if you're 6, you probably can't really fight your way out of a situation against a bunch of adults who are trying to capture you, right? So you have to rely on other strengths like a real child would, like stealth and, trickery and solving puzzles and getting around. Celeste has a different appeal to a different type of gamer who maybe likes
every gamer, but go on.
Pixels and jumping around.
Effect here.
It really is. Yes. Thank you, 6-4. And so, I'm sure it has its own benefits and stuff, but I just think El Hijo looks really, really cool, and I'm excited to try it out.
That's fair.
I'm with Meg. Hashtag.
Thank you, MM.
You all can just
The only reason why MM is saying that because he don't want to get clown dying 1,000 times. On level tutorial.
Shut up. Hashtag I'm with Meg. Shut up.
Yeah.
Reviewer, the tutorial is so difficult.
Takahashi. Oh my God, that was embarrassing. Yeah. Sorry, Brian. Every time we have these outlets, we gotta say sorry, Brian.
Okay, it's over. I'm over it. Borderlands 2 was also recently rated, whatever the hell I'm trying to say. Borderlands 2 was rated for Google Stadia recently, the Game of the Year edition. Is this going to be a part of a collection? Do you guys know, or not know? Do you guys think it'll be part of a collection? Maybe the Handsome collection. Do you think we're going to get every single thing like the Switch just got? MM2K, you're a Borderlands guy, right?
Yeah, but I mean, this is going to be unpopular. I hate Borderlands 2 with a passion. I think it was just a bunch of rabid, crazy mess. And again, that sounds like me, but I just didn't like it. I didn't like the level design. I didn't like the AI interaction. I thought the weapons, even though it was a bunch of them, they sucked. I like nothing about the game. Nothing. That's my Oscar the Grouch impression.
Huh?
Yeah. But I do think it's going to be a pro game. I do think it's going to be a pro game, and that's cool for people that like it.
So do you think the first one and pre-sequel will join it? Because I just picked the second one, right? I mean, usually
that would be part of if they were, that would be the Handsome Jack collection.
Yeah.
And I mean, that would be cool. But again, this is greedy 2K. They could be not doing a Handsome Jack collection and dropping Borderlands 2 Game of the Year, and they're going to drop the Borderlands 1 game. They're going to sell them all separately. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So who knows?
Any thoughts on Borderlands 2, Chase?
I hope that's not one of the things that they make as like a big highlighted deal at the Connect.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope not. Like, I mean, I get it. It's a legacy, title. It's something that some people enjoyed. I know that's one of out of the Borderlands series. That's one of the ones. Well, it's not one of the ones. It is the one that I hear the most controversy on. The second one always kind of gets mixed statements from people. I don't know. I really don't. I'm not a big Borderlands fan. I'm not a fan of the art style. I'm not a fan of the looter shooter aspect of that specific game, even though I love looter shooters.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Chase. Thank you.
I just don't. I don't like it.
Not a fan. I can't remember which two said it. The Sounds of Stadia crew, they're talking about this news too, and they love Borderlands 2. MM, you should tell them what you think about it.
It was Tom. It hurt my heart.
Yeah,
it was Tom. There was a reason why he wasn't on my show. No,
shots fired. Shots fired.
No. Shout out to Tom. No, you know what? I was playing it with some good friends of mine. I was trying to get them into Borderlands because they felt the same way that Eddie and Chase felt about it.
Yeah.
So we were downloading Borderlands 1, but for some reason that was taking forever on Steam. Borderlands 2 downloaded. We started playing 2. They loved it. Oh, this is the shit. Oh, thank you, MM2K. So then we go to play 1. They're like, boo, this man. I hate this game. So it's a very partial game. People that love 2 hate 1, love 1 hate 2. But whatever. I get it. Hey, at least they got success with 3 though. I think 3 is generally accepted, and I love 3. I love 3 too. So,
Meg, what are your thoughts on Borderlands?
I like Borderlands. I like Borderlands 3. I played it on Stadia. I think I don't want to go backwards. Like, so I don't think I'll actually play Borderlands 2 because I already played the third one and I haven't even finished it yet. But I don't stream it that much because the one thing I don't like about that game, I like the loot shooting. Eddie, I totally disagree with you. I love cell shading. I love the art style. I even downloaded a texture pack to make my Minecraft look like Borderlands. It's called Minelands. Everybody get it.
That's really cool.
What I don't like about Borderlands is they don't do cutscenes, but instead they just have little voices just talking to you constantly while you're playing. And it drives me crazy because I like to talk constantly. And so I don't want to have to constantly talk over little talking robots while I'm gaming. So for that reason, I play it less than I would if it were a different type of like way they interact. They like the way they convey information to you. So that's the only thing I don't like about Borderlands 3. A bunch of people love the franchise though, and maybe they want to play Borderlands 2 on Stadia, and that's fantastic.
Is this what you're talking about? Because I am mildly interested in Minecraft all of a sudden. That is cool looking.
Yeah. Is that the Mineland? Yeah. Oh my God. You guys should see my Minecraft world. It looks amazing. It's so cool. It's really good. And there's a free one you can get, and there's also a paid one, but you can really customize how you want your Minecraft to look. And you should see it with shaders. I think that was just a texture pack, that screenshot you'd have. You should see the sunrise over my little farm on my little Borderlands Minecraft world. Oh my God, I'm such a nerd.
Germani, what are your thoughts on Borderlands 2?
Yeah, it might bring the previous ones along with it in the pack. I think that'd probably be a good idea, especially since it just launched on the Switch. You want to keep that going. But yeah, I definitely won't be going back to play them. I got into Borderlands 3 a little bit, but to me, it's just not the best mechanically when it comes to the gunplay and kind of some of the movements. It's a little clunky. I do like it, but it's not nearly my favorite. And I agree with you, Meg, on games in general that do that. When you're trying to stream, you have to battle with the I can't stand that shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
I hate that.
Shot it down. He cursed. He swore.
Yeah. He gonna let it. He gonna let it.
I'm sorry for snitching. I'm glad it wasn't me this time.
Goddamn rat! Add that to the list. But no, real shit. Okay, I'm done. Seriously, I do hate that though, Meg. It gets on my nerves because you're trying to engage, but then they're talking over, and you don't know when it's going to happen. There's no way to tell. So, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, too much.
Yeah.
How about you, Eddie?
Can I use one pass on this one?
Not a Borderlands fan, huh?
Nope.
All right, there it is.
Thank you.
All right. Elsewhere announced. What?
I said Apex. I must
Apex?
have not. Mike, I'm sorry.
Chase is literally just like leaning back, just shouting Apex. Like,
He's ready for the after show.
Yeah.
He's ready for the after show. You're like, yeah.
By the way, if it's a good plug, if you're listening to this podcast on podcasting platforms everywhere, come to youtube.com/Club C. I should have done this at the beginning. We do a VIP after show for all the YouTube audience. But before we get there, because we're kind of wrapping up towards that segment. The last of the new games that were announced, or not announced, but ratings released. Hello Neighbor was one of them. This is kind of a niche horror title. I'm going to guess a lot of us haven't played this game. I mean, just from listening to you guys on Tuesday, I know it's not been a game you guys have touched on, right?
I'm sorry, I missed it. Which one was it?
Hello Neighbor.
Hello Neighbor.
Oh, no. I was checking the comments, man. No.
Yeah, the comment section has been kind of off the rails as much as we have. We're just giddy with excitement for the Connect on Tuesday, so we're just kind of all over the place. But there's nothing wrong with that. So, Hello Neighbor is a horror title. Is this not a game that is going to be on anyone's radar?
Not mine.
No, I have to look at it a bit more, but no, it's not something.
Should have heard what Kai said about it during.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it was hilarious. He's like, creepy. My kids played it. Your kids should not play this game. Yeah, no. And there was an expletive thrown in, but it was basically this game.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with the game at all, Germani?
No, I'm not. Actually, I don't think I've seen any of it at all.
Load it up here. It's got some creepy elements to it for sure.
Germani, did you play Little Nightmares?
Oh yeah.
I think it's going to be a pro game, and I will play it.
That's a fair shout.
Okay, first person.
It's got some very creepy elements to it. I mean, as you can just tell from the main antagonist, he's very creepy neighbor.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah. I wouldn't say it's to the level you might be thinking of, but it's not. Yeah, it's unsettling. Let's just put it that way.
Okay. Wow.
You can look up more of that later. The last of the games that I think, unless I've missed something, is from 2K, WWE 2K Battlegrounds, because their simulation game has not been going very well lately. They decide to go arcade this year as they work on their more realistic title. Here's the thing about this. I, as a wrestling fan, not very interested in this. But I know a lot of people that are not wrestling fans think this looks awesome. So let's go with someone I know is not a wrestling fan. Meg, does this game look interesting to you?
No.
I
don't like the fighter games. I don't like the fighter games. Like, I didn't play Mortal Kombat, and don't even get me started about Samurai Showdown. Oh my God. But I mean, it looks fun, I guess, if you like the genre. I'll say that. But what is that? A goat? A ram? Yeah. I mean, although at one point this guy, he throws a guy into an alligator's mouth. That's kind of cool. But overall, no, I don't think I'm going to really get into it.
She's going to play a lot of this game. What's going to end up happening?
Turn into a Battlegrounds channel.
It's going to be like a stream.
Yeah, I played Power Rangers. I fought a few people. I did a little stream of Power Rangers. So, I mean, if this was... I mean, I'm not going to buy it, but if it came out, I'd give it a shot. Like, I try to play all the pro games, even if it's not a genre I don't usually play. And like, I don't know, it looks okay, but it's not really my thing. I'm just laughing looking at this trailer.
Eddie, how about you? Because I know you're such a huge wrestling fan. This game is coming out on the 18th, if you couldn't tell by that little trailer there. But what are your thoughts on this one? Is this something you will be interested in once it gets to a lower price? Because I believe it's launching at $40, the standard edition.
Brian, can you put me on full camera?
Yeah, why not? Let's get this going.
Hi, 2K. Can you provide me a key for this game so I can evaluate and give my honest opinions? I'm not a wrestling fan, but I would love to play the game and give you my honest opinion. Thank you.
Spoiler alert, 2K doesn't know I exist, so they probably won't see it.
I'll make sure to clip and post on Twitter and tag them 3 times.
But outside of that, this isn't something you're looking at picking up.
Yeah, looks like something interested in. If you can be like a 4-player mayhem. Again, I'm not a wrestling fan. I tried to play wrestling games back on the Nintendo Wii, but I didn't have too much fun playing alone. And especially because I don't know the characters, I don't know the history. I just know about John Cena and everyone else. Of course, The Undertaker and like the huge characters I know, but most of those, not a wrestling fan. I can see The Rock there, but it will be kind of weird for me because I'm not a wrestling fan. I know more about golf than I know about wrestling, for example.
I didn't even realize there were real like character people. I thought they were just little.
Yes, these are actual all real people.
I mean, as real as a wrestler.
Did you saw The Rock?
You're right.
Well, John Cena.
I didn't notice him. No, but I do know The Rock.
Okay.
Oh God, chat is gonna really lean.
Yeah, Germani, go ahead.
Oh my God, Meg, you might. That might be it. You might have officially. You might have to take your Stadia card.
Hold on. I think the stream got canceled, guys.
Oh, stream unavailable.
Yeah. Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
Oh no.
What did we get suspended for?
I bet you
political policy violations.
Well, I can read, but I don't know what.
How? What did we say?
Remove Brian the clip. Remove the
2K. Those bastards.
Remove the clip.
They do know I exist.
We should probably go back.
Now they do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, I told I thought it was just Grand Theft Auto, but 2K, they are some greedy bastards.
Wow.
It looks like it might be coming back.
Which?
That's awesome.
Yeah, because they 2K
the basketball.
Yeah.
What?
No,
Take-Two.
2K is the company who
The
does.
company, yeah.
He did it because of the wrestling. He showed the wrestling clip. So
But
apparently,
we didn't
Yeah.
even like. Was there even sound for that?
No, it's just because
No.
okay, this image is proprietary to us, and you cannot show the clips of our
That's
video.
horrible.
So,
Because I said I didn't
horrible.
like it. I bet if we'd all
Right.
said we liked it, they would have allowed it. I love wrestling. I always will play wrestling
I
games.
think they saw my face.
Stream suspended for policy. But
all right, but I know because this has happened when I was streaming UFC, and it was suspended for a few seconds when I showed a clip of a fight, but it should come back. And hi, podcast listeners, you are exclusive right now. Only you is listening to this part of the show. And actually, there was. Hey,
There we
we're
are,
back.
we're back.
There we go.
We're back.
Thanks for the donation, Ray.
Hold on.
Hey, Ray.
Hold on. Stop. We'll talk about that about in a second. Where to go? Shoot, has it been that long already? Crap. Because we got a super chat earlier.
Yeah, from was it Ray?
It wasn't. Well, he just did one. There it is. Jay Stroke dropped a $5 Canadian super chat. Thank you, Jay.
Hey.
We started getting. I can't believe God, that's these.
Yeah, dude.
These
Yeah,
bots, man, they
we'll
just-
order them in the after show. I got a lot to say about that.
Trust me, we're going unfiltered, and I'm stealing Eddie and Chase's thing here. But yeah, we got some things to say to you, 2K. Okay, but seriously, Ray, thank you for the $50 super chat as well.
Thank you, Ray.
Thank you for sticking with us, folks, as we went through all of that awesome stuff. Okay, so now I know I don't want to get 2K Battlegrounds because I tried, deleting my channel here. So I'm just kidding. Germani, I think you were talking when we got cut off.
And I was gonna say the gameplay itself looks like it could be fun. If it works well mechanically, but that art style, Meg. All right, you talk art style. That right there looks garbage. I'm like, what is up with the character design on that thing? It's something I'm not even gonna say what I want to say, but the character design just looks bad. It looks horrible.
There is precedent for this, and let me kind of back up my claim here.
What was the name of that cartoony game, the WWE one? You know what I'm thinking of?
All Stars.
See, that looks a little bit better, actually. Yeah.
But this is kind of the precedent for that. So, I mean, as soon as they announced the game and they had like the little splash page for it, I was like, it's going to be kind of like this.
And that's because they still their heads are big, but I don't know how they look in the actual gameplay, but it looks like they're still a bit more proportional.
I would show you, but
nothing wrong with having a big head.
Don't show it, Brian.
But I don't know who they had design those character models. They look
Chase, as a fellow wrestling fan,
I mean, I've played different variations of wrestling games over the years, and believe it or not, that's not the worst I've ever seen. And it does look a lot like All Stars. If Brian was to show that, which is basically the same, they try to go with like the small, like Funko Pop type of character models, which is what they're going for intentionally.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna play it. I like wrestling games. This one's actually an arcade style wrestling game, which is even better.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like a legit like I've got to counter this move for this. It's fun,
right?
And that's I think missing from those games. Like I think they realize that people are not buying these games anymore to like come in there and be like, I'm gonna put the hold on this guy like it's like UFC 4. Like nobody's buying it for that. They're buying it to probably do a career mode, probably try to make their their favorite wrestler have the highest skill points it can have, or they can have. But with this, I think you can just jump on, have some fun. Did they say how many online? How many players you can have? Is it 2v2?
I mean, just from the trailer, it kind of looked like it's. But now off the top of my head, I don't know.
Yeah, that's proper 12 is hitting. Golly.
But yeah, it's been a while since we had like a. I mean, this isn't like a No Mercy type game, but it's an arcade game, kind of like that one was ish. But I don't see view features. Here we go.
I'd take a remastered No Mercy now.
Yes,
that's a good game.
WCW
that was a really good
I'll take that.
Well, you can do
What was the what was the WCW Nitro game back on the PlayStation 2? God, I can't remember the name of it right now.
There was NWO Revenge. Is that the one?
No,
That was what I was talking about. Yeah, that was what I was talking about. That was before No Mercy. Both of those.
Wasn't there was a Nitro one though too?
There was one called Nitro, but I don't remember that one being very.
No. Was it Starcade? They had one that was a unique name. It was a WCW, and it had Hall and Nash, and it had Harlem Heat. Damn it, man! No, we can talk about it in the after show.
Okay,
we can talk about it in the after show.
All right, so yeah, we're getting really off topic here. MM2K, did this game show any?
I don't think he's back, Brian.
Oh, I didn't know he disappeared. He will be right back. He'll be right back. Okay, we'll catch his opinion in the after show if he has one on this particular title. But I believe we're about the point where we would wrap this thing up for the podcast listeners. There is going to be a little benefit to those that listen to the podcast because there's going to be a little portion that was exclusive to them because YouTube has some weird video matching thing that 2K said, hey, get rid of that because we're showing a trailer and we're trying to help them by putting their game on a platform. I don't get it. Why are they blocking trailers? That's stupid, right?
And that was hard to look at.
Yeah. That wasn't in full screen.
Come on, bro.
It really went in there.
It was. I'm not even a friend. That game worked.
It was Nitro.
Like
it was Nitro.
I don't remember that game.
It's actually a Take-Two thing because that has happened like with Red Dead Redemption stuff.
Yeah.
As well. So Take-Two says you don't want to show anything from me.
Let me say one other thing to Germani real quick. Give this some time and actually let the game come out and see what see what the actual final graphics look like because a lot of times what they did with All Stars, it looked garbage before the actual game came out, and the actual game looked 50 times better than the trailer. So I'm just saying.
Yeah, because right now visually it looks bad, but gameplay wise, it looks like it could be a lot of fun, like a great arcade multiplayer mashup game. I think that for sure. I'm just speaking on it aesthetically. I wouldn't want to look at it. That's the big problem for me.
I'd assume this game is pretty close to being done, though. I mean, we're only 2 months away.
No, it is, but I just never trust trailers. Like
that's fair,
especially the ones from those kind of games.
But from 2K, I do think that's what we're just saying. Okay.
Jesus.
All right. I'm trying to stall here for Meg and MM to get back here as we sign off here. But we do have the VIP after show coming up. I guess what I can do is let you guys plug your channels here before we head out. Chase, I know right now you're kind of taking a sabbatical of sorts, but you do have plenty of content that people can absolutely go and watch. And you also have a little podcast you do. So why don't you go ahead and tell everybody all about that?
Yeah, well, I mean, right now you can find me in 2 places. So, of course, every 2 weeks you can find me here on the Stadia Initiative, which is, of course, a phenomenal podcast. And then every Tuesday night at 8:30 p.m. EDT over on Eddie's Eddie Player One's channel, we have the This Week on Stadia Unfiltered podcast with Eddie, Kai, and myself. It's an After Dark style podcast. It's a lot of fun. And we usually just kind of talk about anything and everything. There's really not a set conversation list, so it's a lot of fun.
Awesome stuff. And did you plug your Twitter?
Oh no, yeah, that's probably a good thing. Twitter.com /Phantom UFC fan. Perfect.
MM2K and Meg are both here back at the same time. We're signing off, so this is good timing for you guys. MM2K, go ahead and tell everyone where they can find you.
You can find me at MM2K Vids on YouTube. You can also find me for Stadia only content. Find me on Stadia Dosage on YouTube. You can also find me streaming on Twitch at twitch.tv/MightyMost2000. And now for games specifically like Octopath Traveler Gonaways and Monster Boy, we're now doing a Stadia Twitch channel. Stadia Dosage. Just look up Stadia Dosage on Twitch. And you can find me with the Broadband Bullies and PNTS Network. I think that's it.
There it is. And Meg, where can people find you?
Yes, you can find me youtube.com/MegatronX. And for things that I don't do on my channel, but on other people's channels, you can follow my Twitter Meg_Atron_X.
Perfect. Eddie?
You guys can find me at youtube.com/EddiePlayer1 and on Twitter at Eddie_Player1 as well. I see you guys on this Sunday. Brian, is this audio going to be available before Sunday?
We can try.
No, all right. So if you guys don't, if this audio is not available by Sunday, you can catch me up on next episode of Choose and Filter at next Tuesday at 8:30 p.m.
Perfect. Germani, where can people find you?
You can find me at youtube.com/LXIV Gold and at Twitter at LXIV Gold. I usually do a multiplayer mayhem stream, but I won't be doing that tomorrow. I have some things going on, but normally I would be doing a multiplayer mayhem at 12 p.m. Central Time. So check me out there.
Hey, and got to plug something else for Germani. Whenever he does his Vibes live stream, y'all gotta tune in.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all got to tune in. Germani just dropped knowledge, straight knowledge, man. It's a beautiful thing. So
yeah,
I just shout it out, man.
That's cool. Appreciate that, man. I'll be doing those once a month. I like to do them like the end of the month, but I'll probably do, and then maybe I'll drop them sporadically whenever I feel the vibe. You dig? But I'll keep you guys filled in on that one.
There you go. And you guys have been listening to the Stadia Initiative podcast. Again, this is episode number 7 on July 10th, 2020, entitled The Final Countdown. And the alternate title is Off the Rails, because this was an off the rails, off the cuff. Meg was all over the place with the Fifth Element. She was really getting angry about it. But
that needs to be the name of the episode, is The Fifth Element.
Well, all of us will be on Eddie's show on Tuesday. Is that correct? For the Stadia Connect predictions and reaction show.
Yes.
We'll give our final thoughts before it goes live at 12 p.m. Central Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. And that's a part of the Jeff Keighley Summer Game Fest, which is really cool. Mm-hmm. And then, so that's where you can find me next. And then, of course, you are here. You know where I'm at. YouTube.com/Club Stadia. Twitter.com/Club Stadia TV is where you can find me over there. And then over on Twitch, twitch.tv/Club Stadia. But again, this has been the Stadia Initiative podcast. I do want to thank everyone for joining us. Again, we want to thank Jay Stroke and Ray for the super chats. We want to thank you guys for listening, obviously. And we will catch you in 2 weeks' time, which should be on the 24th of July. We'll have a lot of stuff to talk about, I'm sure, after the Connect. And who knows what else will be coming around that time. So we will catch you down the road then. We want to thank you for listening, and stay safe and have a good one. Thank you.